Hi, this is Barbara Altman from News Talk 1400 WOND, and I'm here today to talk to the candidates for the City Commission in Ventnor City. The election will be held on Tuesday, May 13th, and this is to benefit all the voters in the City of Ventnor, to give you an opportunity to hear them interviewed at this time. We thank the We Love Ventnor organization, a nonprofit, nonpartisan citizens group in the City of Ventnor who prepared the questions for tonight's discussion. And we're very, very pleased to be here, and we'd like to introduce the team, Enough is Enough team, candidate Teresa Kelly.
Good evening, Barbara.
And candidate John Pyatt.
Good evening.
And candidate Stephen Weintraub.
Good evening.
I'd like to begin by, at this time, by asking each of the candidates for City Commission in the City of Ventnor to give us a little brief synopsis of why they're running and how long you've lived in Ventnor and why Ventnor means so much to you.
Well, I love Ventnor. I've been here 44 years, started out in Ventnor Heights, and came over here after both of my parents became ill and we needed a larger home, and we've been here ever since. And I sent an exploratory letter out to the residents of Ventnor, and I told them of my concerns and that I was interested in, or was thinking about, running for election, and I wanted to know how they felt about it. And I guess what I got back was, go for it, girl, so that's what I'm doing.
And that's what you're doing. Now, a little background, your educational background, your work background.
I spent 4 years in the Northfield Public Schools, and then I came over and started working in Atlantic City, and I was there for over 30 years as a teacher and a central administrator. And I have a bachelor's degree and master's degree from Glassboro State College, and that's about it, I guess.
And your community involvement?
Well, I've done a few things. I was on the library board, as you know, with you many years ago, and I have been the Shore Memorial Auxiliary and did Contact Atlantic. So and at Meadowview Nursing Home, I was very much involved there. And I've tried always to do something for my community.
You were involved with the Board of Education in the City of Ventnor and a representative to the board in Atlantic City. Would you just give us a brief synopsis of that?
Sure. The legislation was changed in around 1993 that said that sending districts could have a position on the receiving Board of Education. And Mayor Ted Bergman appointed me after I retired to be the first representative to the Atlantic City Board of Ed. And in order to do that, he also had to first appoint me to the Ventnor Board of Education. So I served in both of those positions for between 13 or 14 years. And I enjoyed it. It was, I enjoy working with children. I enjoy doing things for children. And our children had a rough way to go in the beginning at Atlantic City High School with the changes in curriculum. And I was very fortunate to work with two very wonderful female on the board, one from Margate, Barbara Persky, and the other from Brigantine, Carol Callahill. And among the three of us, I think we got the job done.
And watch the bottom line very
closely. Always the money.
Thank you, Teresa Kelly. Thank you very much. And now we'll go to candidate John Pyatt. And John, welcome, and we're happy to have you here for this candidate interview. What brought you to Ventnor, and how long have you been here?
Well, I grew up in Ventnor. I went to Ventnor schools, and followed by Atlantic City High School, like most of us here in Ventnor. Following that, I went to college and then went into service. I served in Vietnam, and then I married and returned to Ventnor. I raised two children in Ventnor many years by myself as a single parent, and I now reside in Ventnor with my current wife over in Ventnor West. And I'm working for the county as a management specialist over in Mays Landing. And I became involved basically with this effort, or became politicized here in Ventnor, basically around 4 years ago or more, when I learned about the effort by the current administration to redevelop the first district. Was an effort that involved eminent domain for private gain, and it assaulted my senses, as I'm sure it assaulted more than that to the folks that actually live there. And from that point forward, I've been actively concerned, and that led me to finally join this great team right here.
And we thank you very much. Any community involvement?
Well, yeah, my community involvement has always been a little more political than maybe the others. In 1997, I was a candidate for the state senate in the 2nd legislative district when I realized that the level of state spending that was going on, and I tried to sound an alarm for that, and again in 1999 as an assembly candidate. So that's been the extent, really, of my involvement here.
And involved with your children through the school
Absolutely,
system, too.
yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, John Pyatt. And now we'll go to the third member of the Enough is Enough ticket, and that is Steve Weintraub. Steve, welcome.
Hi, Barbara. I was born in the inlet of Atlantic City and grew up in Margate. Graduated from Granville Avenue School, in the old Granville Avenue School. Moved to Ventnor in 1964 when I got married. Have raised my 2 children here and spend an awful lot of time with my grandchildren in Ventnor. And I'm one of the people that I call the chosen because I chose Ventnor to live in. I chose Ventnor to bring my children up in. I have coached Little League ball for the JCs. I have watched my daughters row on the Schuylkill for so many times that I can't even imagine. I've had more spaghetti dinners with Ventnor kids in my house than most people have spaghetti in their lifetime. I am a past president of the Greater Atlantic City JCs. I'm chairman of the board of the JCs. I was a board of directors of the Atlantic County Board of Realtors, the Atlantic City Boys and Girls Club, and many other organizations that I've belonged to over the years. I've been a businessman. I started out in books and ended up in bagels. So my history here has been varied and has been very, very successful for me. And Ventnor is just a wonderful place to raise a family.
And your military, I think you may
I spent 4 years in the Air Force,
Right.
Stationed overseas, not far from where John was, but a little earlier than that. And it was a good career. I enjoyed it very much and learned a lot from it.
Well, thank you for your responses and for your introduction.